this is our arrival, and we're here to upset the established teams.
So Ross Chastain, running for the NASCAR Cup Championship for 2022, joining us here in the Freak Nation. And Ross, I'm surprised that you damn near made it on time, because one of the quotes that you said earlier this week that you want to win Martinsville because you want that damn grandfather's clock because you're always freaking late. Bro, you're running for a championship. You can't be late, man.
Not late on the track, just late pretty much in all other aspects of my life. So, yeah, I think a grandfather clock in the living room would be nice.
Where does that come from? Because there are certain people in my life that are always late, and they'll say, hey, I'll be there at 8 o'clock, and they're there at 8:15. Where does that stem from, Ross?
Well, okay, so, and I am biased to myself, but look, I say I'm late. If you say 8 o'clock, I'm there at 8. Now, if you count the seconds, that might be like closer to 8:01, but I'm there at 8. But I was raised that if you're not 15 minutes early, that you're late. And that early part, I just can't get it. So in my mind, 8 o'clock, is late for an 8 o'clock anything. That early, I'm there at 8, and it means 8 o'clock.
I'm sorry, that is not late. That is on time. And for anybody, and I no disrespect to your parents, but I've got several family members myself who do the 15-minute thing too. No, that's early. On time is 8 o'clock.
I agree, but I've been told I'm late, and I just can't get on the other side of it. And I'm about to turn 30, and it's just I've accepted it now. I'm going to be there at the time we said. No early, hopefully not late.
You probably don't want to hear this. Sorry, Kenny. You probably don't want to hear this, but the only thing in my entire life, and it wasn't until my 40s that actually got me on time, and again, I'm on time, not 15 minutes early, was getting married and having a kid. Because then it's not you anymore. It's up to the baby. It's up to the kid. So I know you don't want to hear that, but I will say you've got some time. It's okay.
For whatever you do, General Tire delivers.
Ross Chastain joining us here in the Freak Nation, running for Trackhouse Racing. And Ross, let's go back to prior to the LA Coliseum. What kind of conversations were you having with your team in regards to driving that race car and winning? Was it, hey, just give us your best, Ross? Because you certainly couldn't anticipate that you'd have a chance to be the Final Four in Phoenix.
Yeah, look, we had very modest goals based on both the one car that I'm driving now, but we were the 42 car last year at Ganassi and the 99 last year with Daniel and the Trackhouse group. We were two separate, obviously, entities. And then when we merged together, when they acquired us, we had very modest goals, but we still prepared and talked about executing and winning. And then it was the LA Coliseum where I didn't even make the feature. I didn't make it through the B main, the last chance race, anything. To transfer in. So I was on an airplane headed home while those guys were running the Clash. We went to the Daytona 500. We finished last. We were the first car out of the race. We went to California. I wrecked in practice, and then I spun out in the race. Like, we had a very humbling beginning of the year. So we really just wanted to get on track and finish some races. And then we go to Vegas and Phoenix and run third, second, and win COTA. We got the season on track pretty quick.
So to what do you attribute that turnaround? I mean, COTA was amazing. I still have visions of you on top of your car launching the watermelon. But to what do you attribute that success? Because it wasn't just COTA. It wasn't just Vegas and Phoenix having some decent finishes. Talladega. I mean, and then now look what you've done these last couple of weeks as well. Your consistency has been there. But let's just be honest here. You've also had some run-ins with drivers so that it's kind of put your impression on fans as being up and down. And does this guy deserve to be a champion? Oh my gosh. But you've proven a lot on track. So how do you prove otherwise to detractors out there?
Yeah, we knew early on in really preseason testing back in January that we had fast cars and that the Trackhouse and Chevrolet group had a handle on it. But until you put into action in the races, I had never won a race in the Cup Series or even really truly controlled a race and competed for the win. So until we went and did that at Vegas, at Phoenix, we weren't sure. And look, there's a lot that's happened. I've learned a lot. A lot of the people, a lot of everybody that watches the sport and has watched Trackhouse and myself this year are learning about us right alongside us. I'm learning through these processes. So yeah, we might get slammed one week. We might get people that talk bad about it. It's fine because we're learning as we go. And that's not going to keep us from moving forward and trying to put our best foot forward.
Hey, Dad, what are you going to buy at the store today?
I'm out of Lucas Oil fuel treatment, so let's jump in here and grab us some.
Well, do they have the Lucas Oil parts cleaner and degreaser?
I bet they do.
Well, how about the Lucas Oil power steering fluid?
They'll have that too.
Even the octane booster?
I won't be surprised if they do.
My favorite red and tacky grease?
Yes, they will, babe.
Dad, when we're done, can we grab some candy?
Deal, but you gotta share.
Awesome! Lucas works.
Wow. Ross Chastain. Dude, you're my guy. I've stuck with you all year long, even when all the clowns were complaining about you. And I'm taking you, and you've got to come forward with this championship. You talk about being on time.
Oh, no pressure.
No pressure. But you talk about being on time. Now is the time for you to take over the Cup Series.
Well, I appreciate that. So you've been with me all year? Like this group has been with me?
Hold on.
I have. Yes, I have.
No. Statman, be honest with yourself. You were on his bandwagon the end of last year. And then you were riding things through the end of the season. I mean, you were one of the early ones. So yes, Statman deserves the praise.
Right. I like it. I appreciate that.
You're my guy. I love anybody who upsets the apple cart and anybody that is the center of complaints. I got to look at that guy. And every time I looked at you racing, you were beating the guys that were complaining. And to me, that's like, yeah, go for it, dude.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it is a bit the continuation of last year. So although we're Trackhouse now, we've got new management, new ownership. A lot of things are different. The 42 car of last year is the one car, and with a few tweaks and a new mindset from Justin and Pitbull down through the company that this is our arrival, and we're here to upset the established teams.
What is it about Trackhouse? It's come on board with a world-renowned entertainer and a guy who used to race. And you guys have been just knocking pins down all year, knocking down the watermelons all year. So what is it? What's happened at Trackhouse to make you guys competing for a Cup Series championship?
It starts with the ownership group. The reason that Justin and Pitbull Armando started Trackhouse, the race team, was because of this new car that the France family and NASCAR, were bringing to the Cup Series. This new next gen car, Gen 7, is totally goes against everything the sport has stood for and how it's operated for its entire lifespan of NASCAR forever. And we don't build the cars anymore. We buy them and then we assemble them. So as Justin saw that as his opportunity to get into owning a Cup team, he got a head start a year early last year. And really that acceptance that's how he was going to operate his team. Then with our president, Ty Norris, one of our first meetings this year, even I think it was back in November of last year, as we became Trackhouse 2-car team with Daniel and I, it was, look, this is going to be different. And you don't have to work here. If you don't like it, if you want to do something else, that's fine. But Trackhouse fully believes in the new car. We know there's going to be issues. We know there's going to be problems. We're going to have failures. But we've had failures for the entire life of NASCAR. Let's make this the best we can make it. This is why we're here and why the Trackhouse brand, although it's going to be bigger than 2 NASCAR Cup teams in the near future, you're going to see it continue to grow. For its 2-car team in NASCAR, this is the reason that it's here. So that was a little scary to hear at the time because it goes against everything that we've known about the sport ever since I've watched. But that's really resonated with all of us and myself. It made me look in the mirror and say, yeah, this is my car. I want to make it the best it can be.
His name is Statman. We got to get the heck out of here. But his name is Ross Chastain, dropping a bomb in there that a Formula One driver is going to be driving the third car for Trackhouse Racing.
It did not. But they're in drag racing.
Yeah.
They're IndyCar. Yeah.
Hey, Ross,
it's fun to watch.
This is awesome, man. That's true. Statman's been on your bandwagon from the get-go, buddy. Go out and kick some ass, will you?
Appreciate it, guys. We'll try to make you proud.